In today's video, we're gonna dive into. You know what's funny to me? You go on TikTok and there's just a plethora or buffet of content where just women don't want to take accountability to step their game up to whatever man they couldn't get or want to get, and they always put it on the man. And it seems like to me every time when a man finds happiness and peace with his choices because he held himself accountable to himself and figured out what he wanted and what was better suited for his program, especially when it comes to the context of women in a relationship. Somewhere along the line, women get upset with that. So we can go into it with this chick right here. And the title of it is "Men Are Dating Less Attractive Women for Peace." Oh well, let's go into the
Men
video.
are dating more for peace over beauty now. And if that doesn't tell you how dense and how black and white these men think, is that they're correlating more a beautiful, attractive women to be more difficult and more demanding. Instead, what men are really trying to say is that they don't want to be held accountable for their actions. They want to be able to do certain things and you not being able to say anything about it to them. Okay. In their mind, they think to themselves that if I date a less attractive person, I can get away with more. They won't be as demanding. They'll be more peaceful. When in reality, so many men give women the chaos. They are the ones that bring the chaos. They don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to see their actions. They don't want their fragile ego to be hurt because they have been propped up their entire lives by society. And when a woman calls them out for their behavior, they don't like it. So instead, this is how black and white they think. Well, if I go for someone easier and who demands less, which is someone that's less attractive, she won't need so much from me. And they would rather do that than own up to their mistakes and actually change as a man. They would go for someone that they're less attracted to because they don't want to change who they are. That is how black and white they think. They won't even go for even like the person that they're ideally more physically attracted to. They will be with someone less attractive just because that they will put up with more, because these men want to be able to get away with cheating. They want to be able to get away with going to strip clubs. They want to be able to get away with a lot more behavior with someone who won't demand as much because it's easier. It's just simply easier with how these men want to date these days. So it's really wild how these men are thinking. Don't even know how to go about it.
Let's stop it right there. You just took that last sob breath like you said something so fucking profound, but you really didn't. Um, she said lot of stuff in there. And baby girl, you're not the attractive type of chick. Without the 17,000 layers of makeup, you'd probably be a five or a duck in the pond, not a swan. All right. Let's go. Let's take it back from the start and let's see what she said. Let's break down what she said.
Men are dating more for peace over beauty now. And if that doesn't tell you
Now, men have always done that. Men, men have always dated when they've dated the baddest or the best looking type of women, right? And when they come across the lesser attractive type of chick, whatever the scale of rating is, or maybe one from 1 to 10, men have always said, you know what, this more beautiful chick, when I was dating her, she gave me more of a headache. When I tried to lead this situation, when I tried to, when I tried to give her direction and instruction, she didn't follow my instruction. But this chick right here, she so happens to be a five or a six, and she's not giving me any issue. Throughout from day one to from A to B to C to D to the whole alphabet, she didn't give me any problems. She's more compatible with me, and I find that most dudes, um, whether you're a street ninja or you're a boardroom meeting type of guy, you're a CEO of a company. Most dudes, they typically when they wife up a chick, it's not the 8, 9, or a 10. And this chick is the wrong type of chick to be speaking for those ladies because you're not a 10, you're not an 8, you're not a 7, you're a 5 or a 6 at best, and you have makeup on. So you're not the type of chick to speak for those type of ladies, right? But for you ladies in your 8, 9, and 10, and you're wondering why you couldn't get the dude, well, it's because something with your beauty and something with your entitled attitude uh, uh, is running away those dudes. You can tell with this chick right here. Her mouth runs away a lot of dudes that she could potentially be with. And with her makeup, she's trying to pretend to be that she's more physically attractive. And whatever dude that was probably with her in her personal life, or chicks like this, right? When they figured out that all that makeup is hiding a bunch of bullshit, they probably scared them away, right? So let's continue.
how dense and how black and white these men think is that they're
A man is logical. It's either A or B. It's logicking or it's not logic. It's either it's A or it's B. Men are supposed to be thinking in black and white, and that's the problem with women. Y'all are too much in the gray area or the gray zone. This is why y'all can't find what you're looking for, right? For women, it should be either you step your game up, you submit hold yourself accountable, hold some discernment, and submit to the guy you want. But y'all don't want to do that. Y'all want to do everything else but hold yourself accountable to the type of man you want to be in a relationship with, right? You don't want to cook, you don't want to clean, you don't want to submissive, you don't want to shut up when he tell you to shut up. That's black and white. Cook, clean, shut up, and be submissive to that man. But you don't want to do that, right? You don't want to do the work and to hold yourself accountable. You don't want to do the work and to learn how to cook something. You don't want to do the work and to be submissive. You don't want to do the work and to follow his instructions. You want to get up on TikTok and spew your bullshit. Let's go.
correlating more a beautiful, attractive women to be more difficult and more demanding instead.
Well, yeah, because a lot of beautiful, more attractive women, society has propped them up, like how you say society has propped up men, which I don't believe that. Society never props up men. Society always does its best job to destroy a man's ego every time. Every time, especially when it comes to brothers like myself and my complexion. Every day for the past, let me revise that. For the 30 years of my living in my life, I've always heard black men need to do this, black men need to step their game up, black men need to do A, B, C, and D every day, constantly. When it comes to the rest of the men of society, it's the same thing. So nobody plays to a man's ego. We are always tasked with the duty of performing above and beyond that. So nobody plays to our ego. Nobody kisses our ass. And why would you not prop up the men of society, right? The men of society that's responsible for protecting, providing, and producing and keeping the borders safe from the demons, the devils, and the dragons. Why would you not prop that individual up in your society if that's the main source of your protection of society? But let's go on.
Instead, what men are really trying to say is that they don't want to be held accountable for their actions. They want to be able to do certain things and you not being able to say anything about it.
Uh, no matter what a man does in society, somebody's always going to say something. The passport bros, they took a passport to go overseas to find better women. Somebody says something about it. White men do something. Somebody says something about it. If a white man don't want to be with you're saying something about. This is so funny. You're saying something about men right now in this TikTok video. Anything a man does and it's not benefiting women who want to use and abuse them, it's somebody has to say something about it. The drizzle drizzle movement, women said something about it. Everything a man does, somebody's saying something about it, especially if it doesn't benefit them and it benefits him and his happiness. Let me say that again. If it's something that benefits a man and his happiness, somebody's going to say something about it. And they can't benefit from it, they're going to say something about it. You're saying something about it.
To them, okay? In their mind, they think to themselves that if I date a less attractive person, I can get away with more. They won't be as demanding. They'll be more peaceful. When in reality, so many.
Most of the dudes I see, right, and most of the dudes that we see in society that are less attractive women, they're not getting away with anything. Those men are pretty much chilling in happy relationships. The chick, she's getting what she wants from him. He's getting what he wants from that chick. And they're in long distance relationships. You know what the problems I see? You could go on the internet right now. Several women who are top tier when it comes to looks and attractiveness, whatever you call attractiveness or physically attractiveness, right? They're running men through the gauntlet right now. They're fucking dudes over right now. So we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna ignore that the women who are more physically attractive. Anytime a man gets into a relationship, no matter what's his position or station in life, his life goes to ruin. We're seeing it now. Travis Hunter, DDG, Xavier. I forgot. I don't want to say his last name wrong. He was a football player. All the men that have been in relationships with less attractive women in society, I mean, with more attractive women, more physically attractive women, have gone to ruin. But the dudes who are with mid women or lesser attractive women or with the average chick, they pretty much are happy. Big families, successful families. What we're seeing. It seems to me that's what it is. And I think what the issue, let's continue.
Men give women the chaos. They are the ones that
Since when? When do men give women the chaos? What we're seeing is that the women are giving the men the chaos, right? It's the men that are getting played in the dating game. This is why you need a relationship coach, a dating coach, to help the men figure out to stay away from chaotic women, right? We always tell men that if you pick the wrong type of chick, she's going to give you chaos. And we see what happens when a man picks the right type of chick. It gives them chaos. So it's not the men that give you chaos, right? And typically you women reject the dudes that give you peace.
bring the chaos. They don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to see their actions. They don't want their fragile ego to be hurt.
Our ego is always being broken, smashed to bits, and we got to rebuild our ego again. What are you saying? Men are always held accountable. It's so easy to hold a man accountable. You can walk into a room of black men from all over across the African dance floor, Jamaican men, Trinidadian men, black American men, and go up there and say, you brothers need to take care of your kids. Every nigga in that room gonna say, you right, we need to take care of our kids. No man is running away from accountability. You're running away from accountability, as well as women. You're the ones who get on TikTok every day and complain about what type of dude don't want to be with you, or what type of dude you can't get. All right, let's continue.
Because they have been propped up their entire lives by society, and when a woman calls them out for their behavior, they don't like it. So instead, this is how black and white they think. Well, if I go for
Bam.
someone easier and who demands less, which is someone that's less attractive, she won't need so much from me, and they would rather.
That's BS. The less attractive women do demand stuff from the guy. She do expect things from the guy. It's just that she's more respectful of that dude. She doesn't feel entitled. She knows that because she's less attractive, I have to perform for the guy that I want. Right? So it's not that the dude, most men know that we have to protect, provide, and produce for that woman. We know that. The problem is that when he gets into a relationship with the more attractive type of chick, they're more of a headache. They don't do anything. They don't perform, right? But the less attractive chick, she knows that she has to, her performance has to supersede what she looks like, right? So the guy knows he's performing for a chick that's willing to perform for him. That's what it is. And in my experience and most dudes' experience, but a lot of y'all women don't fucking listen. The less attractive chicks perform or outperform you chicks that are more attractive. That's in general. We can't ignore that that's what we see.
Do that than own up to their mistakes and actually change as a man. They would go for someone that they're less attracted to because they don't.
Why would I change up for a woman that's a siren like you? Listen to your mouth. Listen to how you sound. So I'm supposed to change up who I am as a man, my identity, into adapting for a chick that's despicable, that's a headache. Then I'll be myself and find a chick, even though she's less attractive than an 8, 9, or a 10 or a 7, and find a chick that I'm looking for that's compatible for me. Why should I settle for bullshit when I could get peace and happiness?
Want to change who they are. That is how black and white they think. They won't even go for even like the person that they're ideally more physically attracted to. They will be with someone less attractive just because.
No, that's a man holding himself accountable. How many times have we told black men and men in general that, you know, the chick, she may be looking good for the eyes, she may have a fat booty, she may have big titties, but she's bad for you. So men holding themselves accountable say, you know what, I'm gonna reorganize my priorities when it comes to picking the woman I want to be with. Let me go with her personality first. Let me go with her character is first. Let me hear how she sounds when she speaks. Beauty lasts. Let me say that better. Let me see how her personality, her characteristics, her performance, and what comes out of her mouth. Beauty lasts. So a lot of men are saying, let me reorganize my priorities. Let me hold myself accountable. Maybe I'm picking the right type of chick because I keep pursuing these Instagram models or these pretty hoes. Let me reorganize myself. And maybe that's what men have done. You ever thought about that? But a lot of you women fail to do that. A lot of you women fail to say, let me reorganize myself. Let me stop picking dudes based upon how hot in the pants I am. Let me pick dudes based upon, is he a good dude? Is he consistent? Is he constant? Consistent and constant. Is he do he protect me? Does he provide? Right? And let me do things in myself so that I can perform to earn the guy that I want to lead me. Right? You women never think about that. Maybe I should learn how to perform the basic traits of a woman so that I can acquire the type of dude that I want to lead me or the type of dude that I want to submit to. You ever thought about that? But no, you don't.
that they will put up with more because these men want to be able to get away with cheating. They want to be able to get away with going to strip clubs. They want to be able to get away with a lot more behavior with someone who won't demand as much.
Men don't get away with bad behavior no matter what chick he's with. Like I said, society holds men accountable for his actions. You got all these dick discipline niggas on the internet. A man must have dick discipline. It's always a panda bear Negro, pandering to women. So men don't ever get away with bad behavior no matter what chick he's with, no matter how beautiful she looks. But boy, we gotta end the video here and let me go out saying this. Boy, men of the past, this is what happens, especially of the boomer generation. This is what happens when y'all live a happy wife, happy life. The bullshit that y'all created in your generation, it rolled downhill, and now me as a millennial in my 30s got to deal with it. This is what we got to deal with right here. Anyway, Kiss Shotty Gamer Nation, like, share, and subscribe.